it's funny that Dylan's taking more time than everything else, and this is just, it's just because my head goes back and forth. But so she has this cable box in her hand, and I walk out and I'm like, hey, listen, we're not taking your cable box. And he's like, well, you're not in charge around here. You're so aggressive. I'm like, listen, you created an issue and I don't want to deal with the issue. And I took the cable box from Chrissy and I tossed it in the back of his red Ford truck. And I'm like, keep your cable box. And Chrissy, after the fact, was like, well, I would have taken the cable because I wanted cable. And I used the term, I said, well, then you are a whore for cable. You are selling yourself out to be able to watch TV. And by the way, she also accused Dylan of raping her. And I would not necessarily call this rape because she said he could sleep in her bed. She woke up and she was like, what happened to me? Did you have sex with me? Because I can tell that it's in me. And very odd stuff. A woman that can't sleep at all, wakes up in tremors. And now she had to tell me while I wasn't there one time that she let Dylan stay the night. And Dylan and her can do whatever they wanted. I wasn't happy about it. But nonetheless, they had sex again. So now, since I've been dating her, she's had sex with 2 other men. Both were supposed rapes. That's very odd and scary. And by the way, this would be the strongest, not only the most beautiful, but the strongest woman I'd ever dated. So she was kind of a badass, and she's already applying for IMPD and eventually makes it in, I believe. So she uses that to her advantage against me and other people. She tells the police this, and the police are biased and take sides, and that'll be coming up soon. So finally, I reach in after telling Dylan to leave, and I punch him. This is my truck window. His truck is probably a little higher than me. I'm standing over to the side because Chrissy is in front. I punch into his car and I just chipped the top of his head like this. Now in their defense and bad on my part, and I should have kept control and I shouldn't have done it in the first place. But young Oliver was sitting in the back seat, and I disgraced myself at that point. But nonetheless, at that point he turned and he said, you punched like a bitch. And I'm like, whatever. And Chrissy's like, oh my God, I can't believe you just did that. And I'm like, I can't believe he's doing this. So I said, fine. I get in my vehicle. Oh no, I actually missed a part. I actually got in my vehicle and I drove away because she refused to stop this interaction with this mess, with this cable box. I drove away and I ended up driving about a half a mile, and I turned around and I came back and I said, no, I should not have to leave this situation. They should leave. I'm staying in this house right now. He should be gone. And then I come back, and that's when I toss the cable box in the back of the truck. We have words. I swing at him. He says I punched like a bitch. And I'm like, screw it, I'm gone. So I go to get in my vehicle and drive away, and he says, I'm calling the cops. I said, call anybody you want. He blocks the road. I drive around him, through the grass and around him. He chases me down the road in his truck. So finally the police catch up, and they're like, well, I saw you run a stop sign. I said, yeah, I have this guy chasing me on my butt. By the way, to give you a little, Dylan is, I'm 5'10", by the way. Dylan's 6'2", 6'3". Dylan's 300 pounds. He's 10, 15 years younger than me, and apparently played some baseball in college. So he's a big guy, and I'm not for say. I'm not little, but comparison, he was much bigger. Chases me down the road. They then hold us. They get a story. Chrissy then invites the police, the supposed witness I never saw, Dylan, in the winter back into her house so they can all have a conversation, write statements again. They arrest me, I go to jail. So because I went to jail and I had already plea bargained out on this second case, it was a stipulation that I don't get in any other trouble. When I was in my late 40s, I had never been in trouble in my life. So the thought of me getting in trouble made no more sense than being in trouble in the first place. Now that one is revoked, and there are 2.